Hello and welcome. So today we're going to talk about downward facing dog. I remember when I first started to practice yoga and how uncomfortable downward facing dog felt for me. And if you're anything like me, probably while you're watching this video, downward facing dog is not the most comfortable place for you as well. So we're going to play around with it. We're going to look at the posture, look at some adjustments that we can make in order to make downward facing dog fit our body best for today. So let's go ahead and get started in tabletop. I know you came for downward facing dog. Don't skip forward, this is important. So find your way to your tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And let's start by just starting to reach or press our fingertips, our first knuckles down into the ground. So it's almost like you're making a rounding, a forward curl into the ground so that you get the fingertips and that first knuckle where your fingers meet the hand down into the ground, pressing it forward and down. And then start to press down into the knees, into the shins. If the toes are tucked, press it down into the toes, feeling that push away from the ground. And as you push away, feel the shoulder blades hug you on your back, growing nice and strong. Reach the crown of the head forward and the tailbone back, and the lower ribs start to hug you in. So you're starting to engage that core. Nice, long, stable. And we'll find a couple cat-cows just to warm up into the spine real quick. So as you inhale, drop the belly down, lift the tailbone, reach the heart forward and up, turn the gaze forward. Exhale, arch the back, push the ground away. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, reach the heart forward. Exhale, arch the back. One more. Inhale, drop the belly, find that cow. And exhale, arch the back, cat. Inhale, find your neutral spine. Find that length, that engagement. You're pushing the ground away. You feel the lower ribs hug you in. Tuck the toes. And we're going to just lift the knees an inch or two up off the ground, just hovering our table. And stay connected down into that downward push of the hands, of the toes. Feel the heels push back a little bit as the tailbone reaches a little further back. Those lower ribs hug you in a little bit more. Feel that length in the spine. Drop the knees down. Inhale, find your cow. Exhale, arch the back, cat. Inhale, neutral spine. We're going to hover that table one more time. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, hover the table. Push the ground away with the hands. Shoulder blades hug you on your back. Push out through the heels, pull in through the core. Long, engaged core, long spine. Drop the knees. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And separate the knees, push it back, child's pose. Beautiful. We'll just take a breath or two here, softening in before we get into all the big, heavy lifting of our downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose, fill the belly, open the mouth, side out. Let it go. Inhale, lift yourself up, tabletop. So why I'm starting in tabletop is because tabletop is a wonderful modification for downward facing dog. So if you are practicing along to a YouTube video or going to a class in person and the downward facing dog just is not feeling it today, respect your body, respect your practice, find a tabletop. You can play by going back and forth from downward facing dog to tabletop, or maybe just spend all of your time in downward facing dog, but find what feels best for you that day. So let's play with our downward facing dog, shall we? Wrists are over the shoulders. No, they're not. Shoulders are over the wrists. Wow, words today. We'll find our way, don't worry. Spread the fingertips, press it down and forward. And usually a good starting distance for the feet and the hands is a plank. So step your feet back, find a plank, and from there, pike the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. And we're finding that long spine engaged core that we did in our hovering table. So reach the crown of the head down towards in between the hands, and the tailbone reaches up towards the sky as those lower ribs hug you in. Feel the biceps start to pull towards each other as you push the ground away with your hands. Allow the heels to grow heavy down towards the ground. Heels don't need to touch the ground. We're looking for a little bit of a hamstring stretch in the legs, and if the heels are on the ground, we're not going to get that. Take one more deep breath here, and as you exhale, drop the knees, find your tabletop. So a lot of the time when we're just starting out, maybe it's our first downward facing dog of the practice, or maybe you're new to yoga, but a lot of the times the hamstrings can be a little bit tight, especially from sitting a lot. And the body compensates for the tight hamstrings in downward facing dog by pushing the weight forward. And it goes into the arms, starts to round into the upper back, middle back. And so all of a sudden, instead of this beautifully balanced pose where two forces are pushing up and meeting at a peak, the weight's getting pushed forward and it feels like you're holding your whole body weight in your arms, and you're not getting that long, beautiful length in the spine, engagement in the core. So what we do is we go from our downward facing dog. If the weight is pushed forward, you're rounding into the upper back, maybe the heels are way off the ground. What you can do is bend into the knees, push the ground away with the hands. Feel the biceps start to pull towards your ears. Reach that tailbone up. Find that length first in the back. Find that engagement in the core. And then maybe the heels start to grow heavy down towards the ground. Maybe the knees start to lengthen, maintaining that length in the spine. Maybe the knees are able to straighten all the way. Maybe they stay bent. Either way, we want to maintain that length in the spine over the straightness in the knees. So continue to press down through the fingertips, through the first knuckles. Feel those shoulder blades strong on your back, pushing into your back. Pull those lower ribs in. Reach the tailbone up and back a little bit more. Deep inhale. Exhale. Drop the knees. So if you're first starting out, if you're brand new to yoga, that's a wonderful downward facing dog to have. Wherever you are in your yoga practice, you want to maintain that beautiful length and strength in the upper body, in the core and the torso. And so if we're too focused on straightening the knees and creating length in the knees and our hamstrings just aren't ready to go there that day, then we're going to get that rounding into the back. And so maybe you find your downward facing dog, maybe your knees are bent a lot that day, maybe they're bent a little bit, maybe they're completely straight. It doesn't really matter. It's your downward facing dog, whatever feels best to you. So let's do our downward facing dog again and play with the placement of our hands and our feet. So find your plank, gripping down into the hands, pike the hips up and back. Find that downward facing dog. And whenever I come to my downward facing dog from my plank, it's just what feels best to me. I walk my feet in just a little bit closer. So maybe you walk your feet in a little bit closer to the hands. Try that. How does that feel? Maybe you bend into the knees there. Try walking the feet way back. See how that feels. And find middle. Notice how that feels. Notice which one felt best. And then from there, maybe you separate the feet. Maybe it comes mat distance apart. Notice how that feels. Nice big wide base. Or bring the toes together. Bringing that weight to one point. Maybe that feels good. Or maybe it feels good to have the feet hip distance apart. Let's play with the hands. Separate the hands mat distance apart. Maybe that feels like it gives your shoulders a little bit more room to soften onto your back. Maybe that feels good. Maybe bring the hands a little bit closer together. Yeah, that doesn't feel good for me at all, so I'm going to separate my hands a little bit. So now, knowing what feels best for you, find your downward facing dog, whether the feet are closer to the hands or further away, whether they're separated or close together, whether the knees are bent or straight. And again, push down through the hands. Feel the biceps pull in. Feel the shoulders soft on your back. Reach the tailbone up and back. Pull in through the core. And the heels grow heavy. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. Drop the knees. Inhale, drop the belly. Find a cow. Reach that heart forward and up. Exhale, arch the back. Inhale, neutral spine. Separate the knees, big toes together. Soften it back, child's pose. Maybe the hands come down beside you, giving the shoulders, the elbows a little bit of a rest. Softening in, finding 3 breaths. And then gently reaching the arms forward, bringing the knees a little bit closer. Inhale, lift yourself up. Find one more cow, one more cat. Back to your neutral spine. Well, I hope this has helped you somewhat to find a little bit of comfort in your downward facing dog. With anything, practice, consistency is key. But honor your body on those days where it says, you know what, your wrists just aren't feeling it that day, your shoulders aren't feeling it. Find more times to rest in your tabletop or child's pose rather than pushing through to that downward facing dog. But with time and consistency, you will find that your downward facing dog becomes more comfortable, especially if you allow the pose to fit your body and don't try to cram your body into this ideal looking posture. So with that, I will see you next time. Namaste.